Welcome to Steel, Forge, and Fire, Sword and Knife. On this channel, we support our U.S. veterans. Veterans, there's a place for you here. There's a number in the description of all my videos if you are in despair. Hey guys, I'm revisiting the Double Dragon dowel from Sinoswords jkoo. Any negative review I make on a product is never a testament on the company, but more an information basis for the company to improve on a product that they have on their marketplace. And also for the viewer or subscriber to know exactly what they're getting into in a particular product that I may have reviewed and have in my hands. As a history, I have always had great customer service and been generally very satisfied with the products I have been receiving from jkoo Sinoswords. So hopefully this will help in improving a product that I was able to acquire from them as a sample after troubleshooting and using it for quite a while. And hopefully this will help you in making a decision in purchasing the product or not, and also help the company in improving a product that they are selling on their marketplace. Thank you and enjoy the video. What's up guys? I'm coming back to you with this thing, the Double Dragon, what's it called? The Double Dragon Willow Leaf Dowel. Lots to get off your tongue. Double Dragon Willow Leaf Dowel from Sinoswords, jkoo Sinoswords. Now, why do I revisit swords? Because you know what? There's different stages that you go in when you purchase, when you basically get a sword for review, if you're getting a sword for a sample, or if you're purchasing a sword, anything that you know that you're going to be using on YouTube and you're going to be, basically using and, and putting in your hand. And I love swords. I have a passion for swords, and whenever I know a sword is basically in its shipping mode, the honeymoon phase starts there. And when you finally do get the sword, the honeymoon phase, it lasts as long as you're happy with whatever you initially get out of the box. What I found with this dowel, the honeymoon stage kind of lasted for a little while. I got through a review. I did a full review of this. I did it back in December. If you wanted to take a look at it, I give you a little history lesson of where dowel comes from and historical findings of this particular dowel. So if you want to take a look at that, you can take a look at that video. I'll leave a link at the end. I initially saw it. I thought it was beautiful. I gave it a rating system. I gave it an aesthetics rating of about 8. That may change at the end of this review. I gave it a fit and finish of about 5.5. That's going to go lower. And I gave it a handling and performance rating at somewhere at around 5 or something like that. It's somewhere around there. Not that great. It was fit and finish. The aesthetics was probably got the highest mark because I just loved the way it looked and the representation of this particular dowel and historical findings and yada, yada, yada. So I wanted to come back to you because you know what it is? Listen, guys, it's your hard-earned money. And if I have a way to kind of just let you know how it's been performing in my hands from owning it and handling it and through the test of time, just to let you know if there's any changes to what I felt about it before. After doing numerous cutting sessions, has anything changed on the fit and finish? Has anything come apart? Has anything broken? Is it still handling the same? Is it holding up to any type of cutting abuse? I don't abuse my sword, just normal cutting abuse, wear and tear. And how is it now? Because, it's very easy to get a sword, review it, and say, oh, it's great. I'm in the honeymoon phase. It's great. Everything is great. But, after the review is long gone and you're cutting with it a couple of times and things start happening, you guys usually don't hear about that. But I like to revisit swords. So if I have something really good to say about the sword, I'll come back and tell you. If I have something really bad to say about the sword, I'll come back and tell you. If there's somewhere in the middle, I'll come back and tell you. You got it. All right. So this willow leaf dowel. All right. First and foremost, it is a pretty looking sword. Okay. It's a really pretty rosewood, a really nice varnished rosewood scabbard that I really do like. Shape is nice detail. Okay. I spoke about all this. Everything is nice. Okay. The handle, my problems with the handle. If you saw my other video, okay, this thing kind of really bites into your hands. The handle is a little, it's just, it's not comfortable. It's basically it's not very comfortable. And and let me tell you something, this is a heavy, heavy girl. I weighed this thing right from here with a scale. This thing with the sword in it came in at around 4.5 pounds. I was unable to really latch anything on to weigh the sword itself. But if this is 4.5 pounds, I'm imagining the sword itself is probably close to about 3 pounds because this thing is pretty heavy. So close to about 3 pounds for the sword. So it is pretty heavy for a one-handed sword. It's more of a saber, but could have been balanced better. But I digress. I'll get to that. So this looks good. First appearance, everything looks great. The Suba's nice. The pommel is nice. You know, there's your pommel. There's your Suba. Everything is great. That's unfortunately where it ends with me, because whatever problems I had with this sword initially have gotten worse and worse and worse. Before I show you some close-ups, all right, the microphone is here. That's the Suba. Okay, everything is shaking and rattling, guys. Everything is shaking and rattling. This thing is completely this large. It can come right off. It's almost like a sword of historical times that just, you know, it's been around for like 100 years or something like that, and everything is just kind of all over the place. And I think if it was a historical sword, it wouldn't happen. But this is basically shaking and rattling. Okay, this is shaking and rattling. I personally would never hold this on my belt. Number one, it's heavy as hell. And the way this thing is rattling and there's all moving pieces, I would never ever put this on my belt. I won't feel safe about it. I think that the sword would just, you know. And aside from that, the fit and finish gets worse, because to actually take the sword out, first of all, I can never actually put the sword away completely. You see there's a little bit of a space here, okay? I can't physically put this sword away, because if I push this all the way into the scabbard, I need a rubber mallet to actually get it out, which is ridiculous. Because if there's a life and death situation, you have to set your hip and you want to pull this apart, before you can get this apart, okay, you'll be dead, okay? You're better off just basically taking the whole scabbard and defending yourself with that if you can. But basically, you can see taking it apart, you need a lot of force, and that's because I didn't put it all the way in. If I put this thing all the way in, I would literally have to get a rubber mallet to actually hammer this thing out. Okay, the problem with that is the fit and finish of this thing was terrible. Here's the scabbard, okay? Here is the cover, okay, of the scabbard for, you know, to place over the into the blade. This completely comes apart. So if you're in battle or if you're using this on your belt, this thing completely comes apart. Could I glue it? Yeah, but I don't think they even glued it. I don't think, I don't know what to make of this. Okay, I took a lot of wood out of the mount of this scabbard in order to make it fit. If I took any more wood off, the blade would actually come off. That's how bad the fit was when I got this thing. You could actually see that there's a crack right here. I don't know if you can make it out, but there is a crack right here from how much wood I actually had to take apart here. But it doesn't end there, and I still couldn't get this fit to fit right. I actually had to take on this collar of the blade, I actually had to scrape all of the metal off. This used to be a lot more black here, but I scraped a lot of metal off just to get this damn thing back into the scabbard to make it fit, and it still doesn't fit. So there's really nothing else I can do to make this thing fit better. Okay, so the fit and finish into the scabbard is absolutely atrocious, okay? And it's gotten worse for some reason, you know, within a couple of months that I've been using it, okay? This in the microphone, rattling, the pommel, rattling, everything's moving. Collar here, the collar, completely moving. Everything is just completely rattling and shaking, okay? I don't even feel safe, okay, using this, okay, the way this thing is moving around. Now, the blade is just something I really like about this sword. I think they did a great job on the blade. You can see on the visuals there. I love the blade. I love the folded steel T10 wood grain pattern. I love the tip. I love it's a beautiful slicing blade. Okay, if this blade was put onto another configuration, onto maybe a two-handed sword, a two-handed type of handle to make it like a long saber, and balance out the weight, this would be a really amazing weapon. So it's such a shame, because the blade was really done so well that it's just such a shame that basically everything else around it is so horribly put together that just makes this dowel just kind of very hard to maneuver. Okay, it's hard to move around. It's not a good sword. Okay. So yeah, so the only thing that was keeping me to this sword was the fact of the blade, and I still absolutely love the blade. I love the shape of the blade. listen, I'm not here to bash any company. The reason why I make these revisit reviews, especially if it's good or bad, is to either encourage the company they did a good job, or at least to try and get the message out that something needs to be changed. They need to address this sword and address all of the horrible problems of the fit and finish that I'm having with this, that I actually had to address myself, and I couldn't fix it. I couldn't, you know, it's very rare that I'm able to get a problem with a sword and not fix it enough where it's at least usable. This is just not usable, and I don't feel like it's even safe, okay? And the overall balance of the sword, okay? My first cutting session, I was completely lost with this thing. I couldn't balance it for shit, okay? Second cutting session, I was able to get like a different grip on here, and I was able to kind of just have a little bit more control over the tip, okay? But still, it's very heavy and very unbalanced to be able to start and stop the right way. So a little bit better as I was using it, but still it's just a terribly unbalanced sword. And from what I understand, Dows are not supposed to be this unbalanced like this, even if it's a big saber like this. They need to do something more with the steel, or maybe thin out the spine. I don't know. There's something they could have done to kind of balance this sword out better, or maybe have a better pommel, more solid pommel that would kind of balance out the weight a little bit. Because I don't mind a heavy sword as long as it's a balanced sword. Okay, so what was keeping me to the sword was the fact that I really did love this blade, and I still do. I love folded steel. I love the pattern, the hamon. It's beautiful. They did a gorgeous job. My message to jkoo is, and the companies that basically they're involved with in making this, they need to revisit this. If you guys are interested in this sword, I'm hoping that they revisit it, either bring it back to the drawing board, pull the ones they have in production, and maybe fix them up, or take them off the market completely and completely redraw what they need to do with this. Because this is just a loose, you know, wall hanger. That's all it is. I mean, I would love to have a project one day where I take this blade and put it someplace else, but I digress. That's a project for another day. But as it is right now, this double dragon willow leaf dowel, okay, with the problems of the fit and finish, okay, with the problems that, you know, you had this out of the box, that this is completely dislodged, okay, and completely comes apart with no effort, okay, and the fact that it is just such a hard in and out. I mean, that's all I can get it in. If I got this all the way in, I'll never get it out. And the fact that this is kind of shaking and rattling here, just shaking and rattling here, this is just a really pretty wall hanger. So I'm very upset with how this sword turned out. And again, with a little bit of use and with just the test of time, you know, sheathing it, unsheathing it, using and carrying it around, normal stuff. Again, I don't abuse my swords, just normal use. It's not holding up, guys. This is kind of, I feel like it's unsafe and I can't really use it. So I'm hoping, message to sinoswords, they need to revisit this dowel. If you guys are interested in it, it is a pretty sword in the picture, and you're gonna really love the aesthetics. The details of all the casted pieces are beautiful. They did a nice job. So I have a lot of love-hate for this sword. I really do. I wanna love this sword. Fin finish took a straight down, probably to about like a 2. Okay, performance-wise, dip down more. Aesthetics, I'm not even looking at the aesthetics anymore as being an 8. It's probably going to take a 6, because when you look at the aesthetics and it does this and everything is just doesn't. This is the only thing that's solid on here is the cheap at the end of the scabbard, the tip. Other than that, everything is kind of just shaking and rattling all over. I feel like maybe the pommel is going to eventually come apart, and it's just going to. It's going to be unsafe. So that's why I feel like I can't really cut with this sword confidently unless I completely take it apart and put it someplace else. So word to the wise, guys, this is your money. I'm trying to let your money go far. If you're interested in a dowel, I would bypass this for now unless sinoswords can promise that they can basically revisit this and do something better to redraw it, or maybe put more, the ones in production, fixing these problems. So that's why the purpose of this video, guys. So I hope this interested you guys. I felt like it was my duty to let you know what I feel about this sword, holding on to it for a little while. And you know, if you're looking for a dowel, look at LK Chen. They do have a great representations of dowels. A little pricey as far as I'm concerned, but they're very well handling swords. I know Matthew Jensen has reviewed many of them. They're really good swords. I would love for to be able to revisit Chinese swords with jkoo. Maybe I have like a bad lemon. Maybe some others have better ones. Let me know in the comment section if you have any of these issues that I've been having, okay, with this sword, or if I just have a bad one. I just can only speak for the one that I have here. So other than that, guys, that's all I have for you here, man. So double dragon, willow leaf dowel, not good. 3 months in, not good. Actually, worse, not better. Couldn't fix the problems, and it's just not good. All right. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching all my videos. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It'll help me to continue to get you videos like this and get samples to review for you and do all that fun stuff that you like to see me do. So have a good one, guys. Much love. Joe from Steel Forge and Fire Sword and Knife. Don't forget our vets, and I'll speak to you when I see you guys. Ciao. Next sword and knife. Later.